Hello, dear friends. Myself, Dr. Arun Kumar Kulshrest from Madhav University, Pindwada, district Sirohi, Rajasthan. So, I want to share something about the uh, spice of daily use in our kitchen, that is the Curcuma longa. And this Curcuma longa contains a very potent compound, that is the curcumin. Okay, so this curcumin compound is very potent, especially in the treatment of cancers. So I would rather focus on the pancreatic cancers. So there are uh, some pancreatic cancer cells. Those are the P, A, and C1, and another is BX, PC. So these are the cells which are cancerous cells in the pancreas. So how does the curcumin affect this these cells and treat these cells and try to make them non-cancerous cells? So what curcumin does, I will take only a single pathway. However, there are a number of pathways to be discussed, but I will focus on only one pathway. So what curcumin does actually? So here is one protein, that is the P21. So this is one kind of the tumor suppressor genes, and it determines whether the cell uh, will progress in its cell cycle or will stop at some particular stage. So what P21 is one kind of the suppressor gene. And besides, there are uh, other genes also, and other molecules involved in the cell cycle progression, like the cyclin, CDK, cyclin B. This is one molecule used in the cell cycle, and CDC20. This is another one molecule used in this cell cycle. So if the synthesis or the expression of this CDC20 becomes over, so there are elevated levels of the CDC20. So it will force the cell to progress in the next stage from the metaphase to anaphase. Suppose there are some phases: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, you know already. So this CDC20, the level of CDC20 is elevated in the pancreatic cancer cells. So anyhow, we have to suppress the overexpression of this CDC20. So what does the curcumin do? So curcumin, so it is the P21 is the tumor suppressor gene. Okay, and if the expression of these molecules, CDK, cyclin B, or the CDC20 is elevated, so it will cause the cancer. But this is the tumor suppressor gene. P21 is the tumor suppressor gene. Okay, but it has its limitations. But anyhow, if this P21 is upregulated, so if this upregulated, it will suppress the elevated levels of the CDC20. So ultimately only that amount of the CDC20 and the cyclin B will be available in the cells, which is essential for the progression. The elevated levels of the cyclin B and the CDC20 can be suppressed. Okay, so curcumin it stimulates or the upregulate the P21 gene. So if this P21 gene is upregulated, this P21 gene will blocks this CDK cyclin B, and the CDK cyclin B, what it will do, CDK cyclin B will not phosphorylate the APCC. Okay, so this CDK cyclin B will not phosphorylate if it is blocked by the P21 in the effect of under the effect of this curcumin. Okay, so if this APCC is not phosphorylated, it will not bind to the CDC20 and make the complex which is required for the ubiquitation of the another molecule, another protein, that is the securin. So this complex APCC and the CDC20 complex ubiquitinates the securin, and in turn this securin releases a separase enzyme. Okay, so this separase enzyme is required for the separation of the two chromatids in the anaphase stage or the metaphase to the anaphase transition. So these two chromatids must separate, then only cell will go into the next stage. So if this complex does not ubiquitinate the securin will not degrade and release the separase, and if the separase enzyme is not available, this chromosomes, the chromatids of the chromosome will not separate and go to the opposite pole of the cell, right? So if they will not go to the opposite pole of the cell, that means we are trying to suppress the cell progression, and especially it may be helpful in the treatment of cancer cells, because those become immortal and there are many mechanism defect, genetic defect. So we want to arrest those cells. So curcumin in this way can arrest the cell cycle and stop the cell at particular stage. So ultimately that cell will die off. Okay, so curcumin is present in Curcuma longa, which is daily eaten in our vegetables. So we follow up the curcumin because it has the many bioactive compounds used in the treatment of different kinds of cancers. I took only single instance of the pancreatic, and even that too on the one pathway, but there are many types of cancers like brain cancers or the blood cancers, liver cancer. There are many cancers which may be cured with the curcumin. So eat enough amount of the Curcuma longa in your vegetable. Okay, thank you very much, and remember the Mother University.